Well, that thing coming through quick. Shalom, shalom. Sound Christ, sound quality is amazing. Everything checks out. Shalom. That's too well. Right. Right. Everything in work in order. 2 seconds. Let me throw this in the chat. Sign in. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's get it on. If there's anybody watching online, make sure you click the attendance sign in link. Go ahead and type your name in there. You know what region or zone you from. You understand? You know, get credit for doing your 90 days. Get that Hebrew, that glorious Hebrew name. You understand? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Maryland. You understand? We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing out the truth of the Bible since 1969, teaching that every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American are the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? The Most High's chosen people, his children, his favorite beings on the planet. You understand? And that's a glorious truth. It's a truth that no one else is really teaching. You understand? The Christian church ain't teaching it. The Muslim mosque ain't teaching that. And even these fake Hebrew Israelite groups ain't completely teaching that. You understand? We stand alone in the fight bringing out this truth. The unadulterated truth of the Bible. You understand? And with that truth of, you know, who this Bible is talking to and who it's talking about, we got to realize we've been lied to. We've been lied to about who we are. We've been lied to about, you know, what we should do as a people. You know, we've been told for years we're just, you know, so-called African Americans, right? And spics and wetbacks, and, you know, and we live in this land in America, this, you know, some type of, you know, so-called melting pot. It's just the refreshments over on that side this time. If you want, you know, help yourself. Yeah, it's in this land we're taught to melt. You understand? We're taught to assimilate and to adopt the culture of, you know, our oppressor, which is who's a vagabond himself. You understand? Our oppressor doesn't even have his own culture. You know, he steals everybody else's cultures, you know, and then just puts his own spin on it or whatnot, or not even put a spin on it, claims it as his own, you know. And we've been taught to follow after him, which has, you know, done nothing but led to our destruction, you know. And as it's destroyed us, the people who we've had in place to lead us and guide us have been absolutely incompetent and derelict in their duties. They've been absent from all success. You understand? Like, they've not fixed one issue in the Black community. Our pastors haven't. The politicians haven't. Things have gotten worse, and they'll just continue to get worse because they don't have any answers. They don't have any solutions. And the reality is, the Most High gave us the solution a long time ago. You get that? He taught us what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing, since the beginning of time, since Adam. When he breathed the breath of life into Adam, that breath of life was the Most High's laws. It was his expectations. It was his orders. It was his do's and his don'ts, his boundaries. He taught Adam how to live, man, how to not be a filthy beast that just, goes about doing whatever, animals do, you know, and that's we've gotten away from that, man. We've been taught to abandon that playbook, that undefeated, undisputed, championship playbook, and how tragic, you understand? The Christian church teaches that the law is done away with, man. Now, how disgusting is that? The Most High gave his children a playbook that does nothing but win for us. And the people that we have in charge have taught us that playbook is no longer the playbook. Who do they think they are? You understand? Like, and you know what? It kind of makes sense when I say, who do they think they are? Because don't they set themselves right on high? And we as a lost people prop them up? Huh? Don't we hoist them up and put them on high? Don't we fund them, so they can live lavishly? Don't we, we worship them? Man, Martin Luther King has his own holiday, man. Like, his birthday is a national holiday. We've got Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes. They're mega millionaires, man. Like, they hit the damn jackpot. They hit it all right. They hit it right on top of our people's heads, and to our demise and to our destruction, man. But the thing is, we are the children that the Bible speaks of, and the Most High's law is not done away with. His law is the solution to all of our problems. All of them. There's not one problem that, and we live such a destroyed existence right now under this oppressor, and we're so lost and confused. Like, we don't even know where to start with all the problems that we have. So you know what we do? Instead of dealing with the problems, instead of fixing them, instead of finding solutions, what do we do about all the pain that we're in and all the trauma that we, experience and all of the hardships that we face and all of the, the disrespect that we got to, go through, What do we as a people do to numb that pain? What do we do? Someone
get high?
Maserati. We get high, man. We turn to drugs. We turn to alcoholism. We turn to illicit sex. We turn to gambling. We turn to all kinds of other dangerous addictions and options to deal with our discomfort in this place. And we never deal with the problem, man. We never face the issue, because we don't know how. We don't have wisdom. Let me get Hosea 4:6. Hosea 4:6. Aliyah.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people are what?
Destroyed.
For what?
Lack of knowledge. Man,
we just don't know. Like, we are a people, and that's why the Most High describes us as sheep, Like, we're sheep, man. We require a shepherd, man. We require instructions. I think back to when, I used to teach a little bit of basketball back in the day, right? To little kids, 5 year olds. You understand? And as much as you know about basketball, and as much as they might watch the game of basketball, you put them on that court, man. They don't know what's going on. They know that that ball gets ran around with. Sometimes you bounce it, sometimes you throw it, but they know nothing about the game of basketball. That's Israel, man, when it comes to life. You understand? And living amongst other nations and being men of the Lord and being women of the Lord. We've heard of these things. We know that there's such a thing. We have no clue what to do to execute it. We have no clue what a man of the Lord is supposed to act like and talk like and dress like and speak like, you know, and how he's supposed to deal with his brother and how he's supposed to deal with his sisters. We have no clue, man. We know it's supposed to happen. It is a thing. It is a life that happens, but we don't know what the ins and outs, the do's, the don'ts, what's good for you, what's bad for you. So we just go out here just like the little kids. You cut them 5 year olds loose on that basketball court. They're all over the place. They're out of bounds. They're double dribbling, traveling, fouling, tackling. Right? It's a hot mess, man. And does that not describe us trying to lead functional lives? At every turn, messing up. At every turn, we're getting it wrong. And here we are. We sitting on the solution, man. The Most High gave us the solution, man. He gave us that knowledge. He told us how to play the game. Christ came and showed us how to play the game. And our leaders have told us that the way that the Most High says to play the game, the way that Christ lived the game, the way that Christ taught the game, that's done away with. That's over with. Almost, damn, you really think about it, it's almost like we're almost told, and I'm not even going to try to be politically correct and say almost told. We're taught that it's against the rules to play by the Most High's rules, man. We are ostracized for to our families, right? For thinking that we must serve the Most High. We must keep his laws. We can't eat pork because God says so. Your family members ever look at you like something's wrong with you? They ever cop an attitude with you because you're not going to go, worship America and celebrate the massacre and the slaughter of the Native Americans? You're not coming? That's a good, like you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to follow God's law. That's a waste of your time. What are you doing? Read that again from the top.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
The Bible says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. We're destroyed because we don't know what to do. And we've got leadership, people we look up to, people we take answers from and seek counsel from, telling us that the knowledge that we're supposed to have, we're not allowed to have. That's not what you're supposed to do. Let me get I'm gonna go right to the verse where the Christians really, I could pretty much hang this up, but Matthew 5:17. The Christians think that because Christ came down and died on the cross, you understand, for our sins, that all you have to do then is believe in Jesus. Believe that he did that. And now you're saved. Now you're going to heaven. Now all your problems are solved. And that's I don't have to tell you how much nonsense that is. Didn't you believe that once? How'd that work out for you? Huh? How was salvation? How did your life change? Huh? Like what area of existence did you improve in? You understand? Believing that Jesus existed and that he died for your sins, and now you're forgiven and you can do whatever you want to do now. Every night before you go to bed, just make sure you let God know, hey, I believe Jesus died for me, man. So if I die, you know what I'm saying? Don't put me in, don't send me to hell. Let me go to heaven. That's nonsense, man. That is not how this thing works, man. First off, that's not the type that heaven and hell that Christians believe in is not the truth. You understand? That's some garbage that again they believe in fables, they believe in fairy tales, they believe in, we've been taught lies, man. We've been taught things that are make believe, man. We don't even know who the true power is, you know, in this universe. You understand? And it's the Most High. You got that for me? Matthew 5:17. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
All right, let me get one second, warrior. What color are those words that you're reading?
Red, sir.
They're red. So, does anybody know what it means when the words in the Bible are written in? Are all the words written in red in the Bible? No, not all of them. Some of them are written in red. Anybody know what that means when they're written in red? Amawar? Yahweh Shai is speaking. Those are Christ quoted words. So when those words get spoken, man, even if you're a Christian, you understand, or claiming to be some, a Christian, right? Or a follower or believer of Christ, you should take special note of those words, right? Doesn't it make sense? Read that again from the top, brother.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law. It says, think not. That means don't think. Don't think that I've come to destroy the law. What does it mean to destroy the law? Aliyah?
The law is done away with, don't have to follow it.
Give him a hand. It's like most prophets of the Lord, you understand? He understands the scenario. He understands the people that he's talking to. He understands the excuse that they're going to make. You understand? Because he can't. He already knows. It's like a righteous father, right? Kid, you tell your kid to do something, and as you're telling them to do something, you're giving them instruction that's like, that already cuts off all the corners that they're going to try to cut off. You understand? So like I tell them to cut the grass, right? And make sure you know what I mean? Make sure you get up in them corners, and make sure when you're done, make sure you sweep everything off. You know what I mean? So that I don't come home and then, the grass is cut, but all the corners got high grass in it. You understand? The grass is still all thrown up on the sidewalk. So it's like, I know what you're gonna try to do. So let me cut you off before you even go there with it. Read that again from the top.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
It says, man, don't think that I've come to destroy the law. I did not come to, take this law and get rid of it. You understand? I've not come to dismantle it. I've not come to replace it. I've not come to, get rid of it. Keep reading.
Or the prophets.
Or the prophets. Why? Anybody know why he's saying or the prophets? What was it that the prophets were talking about? Huh? What was it that all the previous prophets talked about? What did they teach? What did they import? What you know what I'm saying?
The commandments.
The commandments, man. Give them a hand. So he says, don't think that I've come to destroy the law myself, or the prophets who all taught the keeping of the law. Like, I'm not come to like that. What kind of sense would that even make? Huh? Like, what kind of sense would that even make? To undo everything that he stands for. That's like, man, listen. Keep reading.
I am not come to destroy.
You ever repeated yourself to someone? You ever repeated yourself? To make yourself crystal clear. I ain't come to destroy the law or the prophets. You understand? Keep reading.
But to fulfill.
But to what?
But to fulfill.
What does it mean to fulfill? To fulfill. Amor? To follow. Good job. Give him a hand. to follow, to complete, to execute. You understand? Christ didn't come to do away with the law. Didn't come to, like a boy, that would be tragic. You come and you obey all the laws. You understand? You avoid all of the temptation, all the snares and traps, and you execute it perfectly. You understand? On behalf of a people who who constantly failed at it, all so that they don't have to ever do that. That's like, all right, let's say me and you in the world, right? You living a life of crime, you committing all types of crime, and I'm not committing no crime, man. I ain't committing no crime. And one day, instead of you going to jail for all the crime you committed, I take the charge. Huh? I take the charge. I'm gonna take all those charges. That all that wickedness you did, they're gonna punish me as though it was me that did it. You understand? And not you. I'm gonna take that charge for you. I'm gonna go sit in the jail for the rest of my days. They might give me the electric chair depending on what you've done. You understand? Execution, right? What sense would it make for you to just continue living the way you were living? Huh? Like that's like that would be like, do you think that would be my intention to sacrifice myself so that you could just keep being a hustler? So you could keep being a drug dealer and a murderer and a homosexual? You think that's what the sacrifice is for, so that you can now do it? No, man, you're supposed to be inspired by that sacrifice. You understand? And realize that you should not do that. You understand? That a good brother is paying the price for your wickedness, and what you can do to repay him is to stop being wicked. You understand? Christ ain't do away with the law. Why would he? Don't you understand? Like, this whole book is about keeping the law, right? This whole book is about the Most High's children obeying him, doing what he says. And it's like any parent, like as a parent to a child, what is your whole goal? Every conversation you have with your child, every lecture, every time you congratulate them and tell them how proud you are, every time you punish them, isn't the goal to train them and to raise them up so that they'll become something better, so that they'll excel and be safe? I mean, that's the Most High. That's what these records are for. It's our direction. It's our protection. It's our instruction. It's our insurance. You understand? We keep the Most High's laws. We have insurance, man. We have insurance. When Christ returns, and all of the suffering that we experience, all of the hardships, all of the pain, all of the trauma that we go through, we're going to have our glory, man, when Christ returns. We're not going to suffer like that no more. But we won't get that glory if we don't obey the Most High now. You understand? Our obedience to him is what will have him step in and intervene for us. Like, our obedience is what will move him to say, all right, they've had enough. They get it now. Now they understand. Like that's the fight. That's the war we got to wage with ourselves. You understand? That's what we got to accomplish. That's what we've got to fulfill. We've got to understand that the Most High's laws are our laws that we need to keep, man. It's not a recommendation. It's not a suggestion. It's an order, man. But it's a righteous order. Let me get Matthew 5:48. Get Matthew 5:48. And for the Christians, I mean, I'm sticking in this New Testament right now for a reason, because the Christians think that all you got to do is, deal with the New Testament, just all the Jesus stuff. Just deal with the Jesus stuff, and just be happy in your heart, and slap tambourines and cry and whatnot. and everything's copacetic, everything's good to go. Someone got that for me? Matthew 5:48. I'm gonna want before you read, what do you notice about these words?
They're also in red.
These words are also in red, meaning what?
That Jesus is still talking.
Christ is still talking. You know, these are yet another quote from him. You understand? About, we'll see what it's about. But again, remember the topic. The Christian church teaches that the law is done away with. We're under grace. Whatever, like, they don't even understand that concept. We'll get into that in Romans. But the law is not done away with. The Most High's expectation of us is not done away with. And it's like, as an immature child, don't you wish you could, like, when you're in your house, with your parents or whatever, and they got all these rules, do this, don't do that. Don't you, do you ever remember thinking like, man, I wish I ain't have to follow no rules? Huh? You remember as a kid imagining what life would be like if you ain't have to go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't have to go to school, right? You ain't have to eat these vegetables, like, you remember, man, like, and isn't that us now? Don't we wish we didn't have to follow any laws? Don't we wish we could just eat whatever we want? Them shrimps and them crabs and the lobster, huh? That our oppressor, touts as a delicacy. Don't we crave it? Don't we wish we could just, go to the all you can eat crabs? That's how they do it too. They all you can eat crabs, huh? Don't you wish you could eat that bacon and that ham? Like, man, wouldn't picking something to eat for dinner be a lot easier if you didn't have to always ask, is there any pork on that? You understand? Like, them greens, they got pork in them greens, or it's turkey. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be easier if you could just take the greens however they come? Don't we wish we didn't have to obey these laws? But ain't that immature? Ain't that childish? That's silly, man. And there's a movie. I don't know if y'all remember it or not. Back in the day, it was a movie called The Purge. Y'all familiar with that? For those of you that aren't familiar with it, the movie The Purge is about some, like, hell, they act like it's some futuristic, American situation. I don't think it's quite futuristic. I think it's pretty much the way it is right now. But The Purge is the government for 24 hours suspends all laws. So anything goes. You understand? So for people, for 24 hours, everybody in the land, they're free to go steal, they're free to rape, they're free to murder. You understand? They're free to do whatever they want. There are no laws for 24 hours. Anybody want to guess what that 24 hours looked like? It was a massacre, man. It was nothing but terror and destruction, and it was an awful place. You understand? It was an awful place to be. There were people who would try to bunker down in their houses, but no, they're getting up in there, man. They're gonna drive a truck through your front door and kill you because they can. There's no penalty for it. Now imagine that's not a movie. Imagine that everything that happened in that movie happens today. Imagine people get murdered every day. Imagine people get raped every day. Imagine people get robbed every day. Imagine people get tortured every day. Like, this is the purge. You understand? In America, it is a lawless land. People get shot. People shoot and kill people, right? Who so-called demonstrators or protesters. A kid, from another state can come to another state with an AR-15 and mow down, three people and not get in any trouble for it. Y'all heard of a cat named Rittenhouse? Is this not the purge? You can kill people and not get away with it. Go ahead. What you child molestation, man? Do you think that child molesters all get convicted and go to jail and are punished? Do you think every child molestation victim gets justice for that abuse and that trauma? Huh? Or does the child molester get a pass? Everybody just, we don't want them in trouble, we don't, that's Junebug, we don't, everybody loves Junebug. It's the purge, right? What about the abortions, man? How many millions of abortions take place a year? Huh? How many murders and how many convictions? This is the purge, man. And the Most High has laws for us. We don't have a purge date. You understand? The Most High didn't write a purge in here where you go ahead and just get it out your system. That was the philosophy behind it in the movie anyway, thinking that if we just let everybody just get it all out of their system all at one time in one day, then the rest of the year, there'll be less crime. You understand? They could kind of get it out of their system. The Most High don't want you to get nothing out of your system. You understand? The Most High wants you to have discipline, self-control, you understand, willpower, strength, courage. He wants you to have morals and values. He doesn't want you to succumb to some sucker's peer pressure from a pulpit telling you it's okay to eat. God, it's okay to eat. Just say your grace. Just bless it. Just bless it. Just bless the food. And then you can eat it. It's just clean. When the Most High says that garbage, that pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster is an abomination, man. In the church, the teaching, if you just pray over it, it's fine, man. What are you holding there, brother?
Matthew chapter 5, verse 48.
Go ahead real quick.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be what?
Therefore perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect. That doesn't sound like a purge day to me, man. That doesn't sound like an excuse to me. Yeah, like that doesn't, like, that's a high ass expectation, man. Be perfect. Be perfect. Like, where's your excuse? What are you allowed to do wrong? Huh? What? And this ain't talking about don't ever, spill your coffee on your shirt. This ain't talking about that. What does it mean by be ye therefore perfect? What's it talking about? Perfect in what? Aliyah? Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Follow these laws, man. Don't pick a sin to accept and, all right, I'll just do this sin. Don't pick any of them, man. Who said this again, Aliyah? Amawan?
Jesus.
Yahweh Shai. All right, we say Yahweh Shai in class. You understand? Yahweh Shai. Right? Yahweh Shai says, be ye therefore perfect, man. That doesn't sound like somebody saying you don't have to follow none of the laws. Huh? That doesn't sound like somebody who's teaching that, it's okay to sin. Just believe that I didn't, and that's cool. Just believe that it was possible for someone to not sin, and now you don't have to, you can sin all you want. Read that again from the top.
Verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Can't nobody be perfect according to the Christian church, man. You can't keep God's laws, man. It's impossible to not sin. It's impossible to not lie. It's impossible to not, you understand, eat shrimp, crab, and lobster and pork, right? It's impossible to not be a homosexual sometimes. Like it's impossible to serve God. It's impossible to keep the Sabbath. It's impossible to keep the high holy days, huh? It's impossible, to have a doctrine, or it's impossible for the Most High to have a covenant with a specific group of people and not everybody on the planet. That's impossible. That's not fair. It's not. Some people aren't going to like that. That's not okay. It's impossible. The church is full of impossibilities and excuses. You understand? Oh, but it's not impossible for them to come up there and pour some water on you, and now you can get up out the wheelchair and walk around, huh? Or you can buy this $10 bottle of Aquafina that Creflo Dollar prayed for, and now you go, they send it to you and you drink it, and now you're gonna get that job promotion. That's not impossible. None of that's impossible. But keeping the law is impossible. What did Christ say again?
Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect, man. Like that, don't you understand that these laws and this culture that the Most High has for his children is for a superior people? It's for a people who are fit for the task, man. Like, and that's what we really got to understand. Our oppressor could never keep the Most High's laws. He couldn't. It's not in his nature. He's a murderer by nature. You understand? That's why they hunt all the damn time. You understand? They kill animals to extinction, right? They kill people like, man, like it's a video game, They treat people like animals. Our Mexican brothers and sisters are still in cages on the border down south. I mean, they have no regard for human life. You understand? They can't obey the law. They can't keep the law. But the Most High has this high expectation for his children because there's a high reward for it too. Rulership, dominance, the kingdom of heaven. You understand? When Christ returns, we'll rule this planet. We'll be in charge. But he wants righteous rulership in this land too. You understand? He wants a rulership that's disciplined, that has self-control, that's not driven by emotion. You understand? That's not weak, that doesn't cry when songs play. You understand? That doesn't get all emotional just because, the sister in the church is singing her heart out, tears streaming down her face, just hugging each other. The Most High don't want weak people ruling like that. The Most High wants men of war that, again, are strong, you understand, and courageous and fearless, and again, are disciplined. And how do we prove that discipline? By keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Go ahead, finish reading that.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Read that again from the top.
Verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect. Go ahead.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
The Most High is perfect, then. You understand? Be like your Father, man. Be like your Father. Ain't that it? Like, again, for me, it's easy to understand as a parent. Like, when you have a child, even in your ignorance, you want your child to be just like you in a way. You know what I mean? You want them to, be able to do the things you can do. Anything you can do, you want them to be able to do. You understand? When you were in high school, boy, you were so smooth with that rock. Oh, you was Allen Iverson, right? And you training them up. You want them to be Allen Iverson plus some. You understand? You don't want them to be George Murasan. Y'all remember? Oh boy, I'm dating myself here. You understand? Like, you want them to be good. You want them to be nice like you were, But again, the Christ is saying, look, y'all got to be perfect, man. And again, I can imagine in this time, the scribes and Pharisees and the Sadducees, they made a living and a killing off of telling people, dumbing down the expectations, like it's like man, people shop around. Like people shop around to find the greatest discount on what wickedness is okay. You know, like there could be, three different churches on the corner. One church says it's okay to eat pork. One church says it's okay to be a homosexual. The other church says it's okay for a woman to rule over her man. Each church will be full of members that believe each of those different things. You understand? Like we heap to ourselves, you understand, teachers, according to our diverse lusts. That's in the Bible, man. And the people that are led of them, man, are destroyed. You know, like we're taught to err by the pastors. We're taught to sin against the Most High. We're taught to fail instead of keeping the laws that would make us superior, that make us different from everybody else. When we do what our oppressor does, we fail. Our oppressor brings cargo ships full of drugs into the ports all up and down the coast. You understand? All around this country. Cargo ships full of drugs. And who goes to jail for those cargo ships? No one. Brother in Salisbury has a gram of those same drugs. He going away for a time. You understand? He is going to jail. It's not negotiable. He's going, and he's going to stay there for 10 years. You understand? It's we've been taught to err, man. Again, because we've gotten away from our championship playbook, man. Let me get Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. I like this scripture. This scripture kind of like it kind of encapsulates everything we've talked about, right? But it puts it into like it bottles it up exactly what I'm saying, but the way it says it is beautiful. Aliyah, you want that one? You always be aggressive with like the closeout scriptures, those the setup jabs, you you'll volunteer, but you kind of lay off a little bit. But when we get to that the ones you like, but when that two come through, you want the haymakers. No sweat. I'm gonna let you have it, man. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6.
All right, go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them.
Again.
Keep therefore and do them.
Keep therefore and do them. What is this talking about? What are we supposed to keep and do? I'm one. Follow the commandments. Keep these commandments, man. Do these commandments. Keep them. Do them. Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom.
This is your what?
Your wisdom.
This is your what?
Your wisdom.
This is the way you should do things. You understand? Make all your decisions within the confines of these laws, and you can't go wrong. You understand? When you keep the Most High's laws, you understand, and you understand how you're supposed to deal with your people, when you understand what you're supposed to eat and not eat, you understand who you're supposed to deal with, who you're not supposed to deal with. When you learn this self-control, there's a wisdom to it. You understand? Like there is a focus that you'll exhibit. You understand? Keep reading.
And your understanding.
And your understanding. This is your wisdom and your understanding. Make keeping the Most High's laws your priority. And again, let that be the only thing you understand. In any altercation, any scenario or anything, any conflict you have, I mean, ask yourself, you understand, if I do this, is this lawful? If I do that, is this lawful? You understand? A lot of times the best thing you can do is again, seek counsel from, a brother above you. You understand? Whether it be your camp leader or one of the generals, you know what I'm saying? If you really want some wise counsel, you understand, about how to handle a situation, like that's, ask someone else, you know what I'm saying, who keeps the law, who's not going to tell you to do something unlawful. You understand? Like your bills, you behind on your bills, man. You don't have to go sell that pack, man. You know what I mean? You don't have to go commit this robbery. You understand? You sister dealt with a brother. Now she's, damn, oops, I'm pregnant. You don't have to go kill that baby. You understand? Don't go do that thing. Don't go worship these idols. Don't go worship these idols. Don't go adopting the customs of these heathens. Don't go celebrate, the things that they celebrate and worship the things that they worship. Don't go do the things that they do. Keep the law. Do the law. This is your wisdom. This is your understanding. Like let that drive all your decisions. Let that be your focus. Read that again for this.
For this is your wisdom
And
your understanding.
Go ahead.
In the sight of the nation.
In the what?
In the sight of the nation.
In the what?
In the sight of the nation.
Anybody understand what this is saying? In the sight of the nations. Keep the law. Do the law. This is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Anybody want to break that down? Maserati, you want to give it a crack?
This is your wisdom and understanding. The way the other nations will look at you.
Get that brother a hand. This is talking about the way that other nations that aren't Israelites are looking at you, man. They're looking at you, man. They're looking at what you do. They're looking at whether you're strong or whether you're weak. They're looking at whether you're easily influenced. You understand? You ever heard of a mark? You understand? Like you go somewhere where you're not from. You know what I mean? People might see you and you're a mark, man. You're a target. Because I could tell by the way you're walking around here. Like we could run up on you and take your goods. Like you're not fit for this. You're prey, predator and prey. Yeah, you're prey to predators. I can tell by the way you move, your functions. You're incompetent. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You're a target. Read that again from the top.
Keep therefore and do them.
Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
The other nations are looking at what we do, man. And that's one thing that I've started to notice too. Since being in the truth, the way I do things is different than the way I used to do things in the world. The way I used to do things in the world would just blend in. Just kind of, everybody's kind of doing the same thing. When you start serving the Most High, the things that you'll do will be kind of peculiar. It'll stand out. People will kind of look like, so you're not coming to the Christmas party? No. You understand? Like, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't celebrate birthdays. You understand? It's the way you move is different, man. The way you move is different. And the other nations can see that. Keep reading.
Which shall hear all these statutes.
Which shall do what?
Shall hear all these statutes.
Those other nations are going to hear all the things and the laws that you have to keep. They're going to hear the things that you don't say. You don't celebrate Christmas. You don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You don't celebrate New Year's. You don't let your kids celebrate birthdays. You don't let your kids celebrate Halloween. You don't celebrate the 4th of July. You don't eat pork. You understand? You don't think a man should be able to lay with another man. All these restrictions, all of these don'ts, all of these things you're not allowed to do. I say, damn, you do all of these things? You don't participate in none of these things? I always find it comical when I break that. Like every time, someone from, someone in the world, you understand, questions like, why don't you celebrate Christmas? Why don't you celebrate? You don't celebrate Christmas? You don't celebrate Christmas for the kids? And it's always a short conversation. But by the time I explain to them, just from a practical standpoint of how it makes 0 sense to break myself trying to buy my kids things that they don't even necessarily want, just because our oppressor says, do it today. and how much money I saved by not participating in Christmas. They said, and like always, every time by the end of the conversation, it's like, yo, that makes sense. That makes so much that makes so much sense. All the while, I'm just doing the most I say. He said, don't celebrate that garbage, man. He said, don't take on any heathen customs. Yeah, so I don't do Christmas. But it seems like to someone in the world or someone that does, that does do Christmas, it's like, wow, that actually makes so much sense. And actually, like that's some wisdom right there. You understand? That's some strength. And your kids are okay with this? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like my kids got hip to it quick boy back with the video game era, right? When they got old enough to play video games, video games don't Madden doesn't come out on December 25th. You get that, right? 2K, NBA 2K does not come out on December 25th. You understand? Call of Duty does not drop on December 25th. So do you want the game when the game comes out, or do you want to celebrate Christmas and wait until the 25th and get all 3 games? Yeah, you want them when they come out, dum-dum, right? What you want? You want all your friends to be playing it for 2-3 months before you even get to give it a lick? Huh? No, it doesn't make sense. It's even to a kid, there's wisdom in, I'd rather not do Christmas and just get, the things I desire, at a more suitable time. You know what I mean? That's again, read that. Go ahead from there. Which shall hear?
What shall hear all these statutes?
They're going to hear all these. They're going to hear all these laws that we keep. They're going to hear about our customs. They're going to hear what we do. They're going to hear about this Passover coming up in April. You understand? For those of us that are going, I think everybody in this room is going. When you go see the Passover, man, again, like, listen, it is something to be taught. It is something that if you're not there, you missed it. Like I didn't when I went to my first Passover, I had missed several Passovers before. You understand that I knew about. And I didn't realize, again, it was hyped up. It was, I was told, man, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. It wasn't until I actually went and was there that I completely understood, like, there was nothing in the world that I had ever experienced that was, as profound. You know what I'm saying? Like it was remarkable. It was remarkable to see all of Israel together. You understand? Observing the Passover, like the Most High commanded us to as a nation together. It was absolutely good. I won't miss another one. You understand? They had that joint wherever they want. I'm on my way. You understand? Like it's that glorious. Go ahead, brother. What they gonna say?
And say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Again?
Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Our conduct, people will see our conduct and say, yo, this is a smart people, man. These people got it figured out. They know what they're doing, man. They are capable of amazing things. We'll no longer be looked at as niggas and spicks and wetbacks. You understand? We won't just be looked at as the bottom of the barrel, man. They'll look at this nation again. Surely
this great nation is
this what?
This great nation.
This what?
This great nation.
Man, they're gonna see we a great nation, man. And then the ISUPK. I'm telling you, get in these classes, you meet these brothers, man. These brothers and these sisters. You ever see them brothers and sisters, them brothers on the street, them corners, man? They blazing on Saturdays. Yo, you get to meet some of these brothers, man. There's a difference between them and people who are in the world, man. There's a clear difference in the way they carry themselves, the way that they the way that they speak, the authority. It's just a complete difference, man. Like it is jaw dropping. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets your attention. These are not your run of the mill brothers. You understand? And that's because we've been trained to keep the Most High's laws. And when you keep the Most High's laws, a man puts on a man's spirit, not the spirit of the oppressor who has a weird spirit. You understand? Like it's going to be effeminate. The Christian church is going to put an effeminate spirit on a man, and he's going to blend in. He's going to be docile. He's just going to go with the flow. You understand? But a man that's serving the Most High is going to be a little more upright. You understand? A little more authoritative, a little more oomph in the way he handles his business, right? And again, that's because when you're serving the Lord, you are different. You are wiser. You do become more understanding, especially when you get into to all the brotherhood, like all the laws about brotherhood. Christ said brotherhood was like one of the most important commandments, man. Brotherhood. Love your neighbor as yourself, man. When you get into all the laws that are associated with being a brother to your brother, your interactions, man, like even the way I've dealt with different conflicts with different people, over the course of the years has changed, and it's like, damn, it's something different about this cat. You understand? Like when you don't gossip, like being a brother that don't gossip about other brothers, again, that's against the Most High. You got an issue with a brother, you go to him and he alone, man. You don't sit there and gossip with another brother about something he did to you. That's so weak and effeminate. So you got a brother that wants to kind of like start coming to you and telling you about another brother, and you go talk to him about that. I don't want to hear about I don't want to gossip about another man. That's effeminate. It gives a brother, man. They sit back and say, whoa, like you right, like that. Damn, like that is kind of weak. That is something that women are famous for, notorious for, right? That gossiping. Two brothers ain't supposed to be gossiping about another brother. You understand? So again, man, the Most High's laws are not done away with, man. His laws are our wisdom, man. They're our wisdom. That's what makes us better than everyone else around us, man. And we gotta rid ourselves of these lies. We gotta chip away at the lies. You understand? And accept the truth. No matter how uncomfortable it may make you. The truth is medicine. Captain Sapari, I always say the truth will make you uncomfortable, but it's medicine, right? It's medicine, man. And just like with any medicine, even if it tastes bad, it's good, it's to help you, heal. It's to help heal you. You understand? So with that, we'll go ahead and end the class. I did just want to make an announcement real fast. Before I completely shut this thing down. Get up in here. We got a lecture coming up in Baltimore on December 18th, okay, from 6 to 8. It's Officer of 1,000 Uriah Allah. It's going to be at 3430 Eastern Ave in Baltimore. It's about Black economics. You understand? He's doing a lecture on Black economics, man, and that's something that our people, have a very how do I say it? We as much as it destroyed, as much as our ignorance of economics destroys us financially, right? Like we still don't learn from it. We still don't understand it, even though like we can't even learn about economics the hard way. You understand? So this is an excellent opportunity, for brothers and sisters to come together. Come hear what this brother has to say about it, man. He's an excellent teacher, man. Again, I have no doubt that this lecture is going to be on point, man. And if you in the area, Baltimore, DC, or whatnot, Eastern Shore, hell, even Virginia, man, make that trek, man. Go up there and get that knowledge. You understand? Again, that's on December 18th from 6 to 8. That's 3430 Eastern Ave, man. Come pack that house out, man, and get that knowledge. You understand? And with that, I'm going to say, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shabarakathum to the Akim, Yahweh Shamar Alathun Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shad to the Akwathium. And with that, Shalom, Israel. All right, Most High.